along with 200 members, am on strike, fighting for a contract that will allow me to work doing the work I love. We, the workers of Legal Services NYC, are committed to our communities. This is why we are fighting for a legal services model that allows experienced staff to form careers, protecting this city's most vulnerable. Our low-income communities deserve the expertise that accompanies experience.
During the first winter in my apartment, I discovered I had no heat. Most nights I was forced to use my oven. When informed, my landlord refused to fix the broken thermostat and told me I should crawl on the floor and use pliers to adjust the heat manually each day. Without use of my legs, this was impossible for me. So instead, I was forced to continue to use my oven. During the second winter without heat, my oven stopped working. Ian Davey and Richard Sanchez, two advocates with over a decade of combined experience, pushed the case to trial. We eventually settled, and the landlord had to pay a refund of over $7,000 for problems in my apartment.
There has never been a more critical need in New York City for experienced advocates for low-income New Yorkers than right now. It is important not only for my clients but for entire communities that people who have devoted their careers, their education, their time, who have made sacrifices in their homes, be able to continue that career. It benefits not only our clients but also it benefits entire communities. Partnering with Legal Services NYC, we were able to help an entire building filled with disabled tenants who had no elevator service for over 6 months. And being told by their landlord it would take many more months, really a year, to repair the elevator. With Legal Services, we got those elevators back online in 6 weeks. Experienced advocates are able to do more for their clients in less time, with less management, and are ultimately better for legal services as a whole.
My landlord has harassed me and sued me to get me out my apartment so he could raise the rent. I know that he harassed me because he didn't think I could afford a lawyer to defend myself. Thankfully, I was blessed to have Rachel, who helped me. She represented me. She allowed me to protect my rights and let me stand up to my landlord, who continued to abuse the law.
I became homeless after the fire burning through my apartment and killed my older sister and our 2 pets while I was at work. Although we have lived in the apartment over 2 decades, my landlord refused to let me back into the apartment and attempted to rent the apartment to somebody else. Lee worked tireless to get me back into my home.
As long as Legal Services New York fails to offer a fair contract, other Section 8 tenants like me are at risk of losing their homes. We need to bring these advocates back to work right away so they can do what they do best, help tenants and low-income people fight for their rights.
These cuts are unnecessary. Legal Services NYC projects a surplus of $10.5 million through this year and expects to gain additional funding of $2 to $3 million in 2014 and 2015.
It's tricky to balance a budget, but it costs more to bring in inexperienced people who do not have the training, who do not have the dedication to the work, who do not have the passion for their communities that the career advocates who make sacrifices for this choice. They don't have the same ability to produce and to do more for their clients with less time.
These people here that come and advocate for our children as if they were fighting for their own children's rights. These people here do nothing else but service the low-income families. Low-income families that are not able to afford to pay an education law attorney the $5,000 to $10,000 that it takes just so that your child can be placed in an appropriate environment, so that she may improve and have a fighting chance in society. These people here These people here do this day in and they do it day out, 5 days a week. Do the right thing for them. Do not take anything away from them. Give them what they are entitled to. They deserve it.
The corporate multi-millionaire attorneys who sit on the board of Legal Services NYC have made a conscious decision to demand cuts at the expense of New York City low-income families and the elderly.
We don't just need advocates, we need these advocates. People who need justice are being turned away. It is time for a contract to get experienced advocates back to work as soon as possible. That is what our city needs.
Today, we say no to corporate lawyers trying to dismantle broad-based, high-quality civil legal services in New York City. And today, we say yes to New York City's low-income communities.
Legal Services NYC should remember its mission of providing the best possible legal services to the communities which need it the most. End this strike and let these advocates continue committed careers serving people like me.
So shame on management. Now is the time to have a contract because the people of the city of New York need legal services and need it immediately. Thank you.